young man from Cashton getting back in the tournament. And then on the other bout, we've got Royal, Brendan Rick, taking on Cade Birchman in the orange mat.
So this is our Wrestleback series.
Wrestleback to go for the third place matches. And right away, Wilson gets a takedown there.
McCartney had a look for a pin, and then all of a sudden he got reversed right to his back. And now he's trying to fight off the pinning combination. It's a long time to get off the back. See if he can get there.
He's got to come through there. He's in a lot of trouble there.
Oh, tremendous effort.
There's a pin in the one wrestleback at 106, and that'd be the young man from Royal. Pins Birchman. No, wait, it's the other way around. Excuse me. Yep. Young man from Fenimore pins Rick. So he'll move on to the fifth place match, which means we're going to keep moving along in that wrestleback round. I believe after this round, then they're going to try to get those 3 semifinals for the female action in there.
Ah, that makes sense.
So now we're up to 120. Wow, you guys are not nice.
They are not.
How did we move up to 126?
Well, like you said, they place these matches on deck, and they can't really move them, right?
I guess
with track.
Gunnar Wopat from Royal takes on Carson Kroll. We want to highlight that a little bit because, again, that's Tim Terrell's grandson out there getting a fresh life here.
Yep.
See if he can get back in the tournament and get a shot at going to the state tournament. Still good action down there. Get a fall down there as Flaggy comes through and keeps himself in the tournament and comes back and gets a pin over Millsno. And that was a tight match, 5-2 at one point there.
Yep.
But now Aquinas moves on. So that gets that quickly up to the wrestleback rounds. Still got a complete, still got 195 semifinal left to go.
I thought so.
Yep, better have. Oh, wait, that is the last. Oh, no, a 220. 285 it was.
285
Yeah,
is
we
one.
got Biermeyer from Ithaca, Western New Lisbon.
We're going to go to 113 pounds out on the black mat in the Wrestleback series. This is Peck Argyle.
Orloff for Peck Argyle against one of those Hillsborough wrestlers that got back in.
Gajewski, yep. And Orloff not wasting any time. He picks up a quick takedown release, another takedown release, 4-2 score.
Still a tight match down there. Young man from Fenimore is still out in front at 195, and that's Cameron Wolf. McCartney's got to get away here. Warning for stalling. Now it's tied up, 7-7. 1 minute to go in this match between Wolf from Fenimore and McCartney from Lancaster.
No score at this 126-pound match on the orange mat.
Oh, McCartney gets a cradle in there, locks it up, and gets a takedown. Now you just want to stay in good position and maybe turn him and just hold him there to win out this match.
Well, if he can get a turn, he will cinch it up, but he's in good position, and it's a pinning combination.
Don't want to really take yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Just got to keep acting like you're progressing. Needs to break him back down. Is now
getting
Wolf
out in front.
Trying to get up to his knees, and it's a tough place to control that headlock from cradle from there. Now he's got him broke back down. Now he should be able, if he keeps driving in here, just ride this out, and McCartney will move on to the finals. He's going to hang on to it. Nice job by him. Punched his ticket to state again, Ken.
Yes, he did, and a great job. That was one terrific match. Wolf will drop back into the consolation side. He'll have a shot at things. He will wrestle Rixus Tirado Lopez a little bit later here.
So that moves us to finally our other semifinal for Ithaca. And that brings out Ryan Biermeyer as he takes on Keenan Josette from New Lisbon. Our wrestleback action continues on the other mats. I'm finally put my 220 where it belongs to.
Well, I'll tell you what, at 113, Orloff is not wasting any time. He's just gone after things. He's out in front 15-4, and he's got more back points coming. Our thanks going out to Tractor Central in Richland Center. Or check that, in between Westby and Viroqua. Our thanks to Triggers and Tackle and Old Country Cheese on the opposite ends of Cashton. We appreciate their wonderful support. Vernon Manor and Vernon Acres in Viroqua. Vernon Communications Cooperative bringing you today's action here from Richland Center. And Vernon Electric, Richland Electric, and Scenic Rivers Electric with all kinds of, we appreciate their energy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on the air.
Orloff wins down there in that wrestleback at 113. He'll move on to the third place match with a 21-4 Tech fall. And our center mat, Carson Kroll, trails in his wrestleback match against Gunnar Wolpat, 3-1 going into the third period. Still no score in our semifinal action down there at 285 between Biermeyer. Yeah, I don't want to say that. I didn't whiz that Meyer. It's hard to say that when you're wrestling while you think of Royal.
I know, yes.
But it is Biermeyer, isn't it? Ryan Biermeyer from Ithaca Weston.
Yes.
Against Josette. Still no score, 15 seconds to go. Oh, just as we say that, Biermeyer loses his balance and falls down, and Josette on top of him. Down at 120 in the other weight class.
This is this Radovich?
Yeah, at 120 down
120,
there.
okay.
I was watching to see what the official was going to call. He made the right call because, boy, that arm across the throat was really tight. And the young man from Hillsborough, Thine, was in a lot of trouble if they stayed there.
Yeah.
4-0, though. Radovich out in front down there at 120 in the other wrestleback. Zach Dre took over a young squad up there at Hillsborough. It's good to see these young men get into sectional action and get some action here, at least two matches in. But they've run into some tough competitors, too. Biermeyer gets on the scoreboard down there now, 2-1 as we're 10 seconds into the second period. Got to believe these two have tangled several times during the year.
Yeah.
You remember how they did at
I thought that
conference tournament?
I thought Biermeyer won the conference.
Okay.
I thought that anyways, but nice little duck under here on the orange mat.
Kroll gets out, 4-2, 32 seconds to go in that. He needs a takedown against Gunnar Wopat to get back in this match and tie it up. I tell you, the young man from Royal better not back up very much or he's going to get hit for stalling. Now he's got a nice overhook, now coming in for a cradle there. Yep, Carson, you got to sit through that. You got to sit through it harder. Going to have to drive in. I'm afraid Carson's season's going to end here.
Yeah. Wolpat's going to move on. He's going to have another shot at getting to the state tournament. That's what he was hoping for at 126.
That injury in the middle of the season just maybe too much for Carson to overcome. Good wrestling career, though, for Carson Kroll of Mineral Point.
Yes. We're going to go to 132 pounds on the orange mat. Meanwhile, it's a 9-0 score. Radovich out in front at 120 pounds against Hillsborough and Isaac Thine.
Still 2-1 in our semifinal action down here, 2:20. Well, I thought Biermeyer was going to get off balance again and fall, but that time he tried a nice throw.
Yep.
It's too bad it was out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yeah.
I think he would have came out on top of that.
Thanks to the Westby Co-op Creamery. Of course, they're right in downtown Westby with their convenience store, the Westby Wrestling Club. WCCU helping us out. You'll find them right here in Richland Center with a couple of branches, and of course, Viroqua, Westby, Cashton, Coon Valley, all over the place. What a great job they continue to do. And we wish all the best to the Viroqua Blackhawks and the Viroqua Wrestling Club. Thanks to Dr. Leon Klum, the Viroqua Dental Center, and those wrestling, that big wrestling family. It's Vesbach Oil and Propane. Thanks to the folks over there in that family of Todd and Tina, Eric and Ryan.
Tech fall down there for Radovich from New Lisbon. He will move into the third place match against Dylan Powell from Brookwood. Imagine those two have seen each other many times.
A few times, yes. That's
Back to
for
our
sure.
Semifinal action. Last one is they're going on their feet here in the third period. Biermeyer needs a takedown against Josette from New Lisbon.
Here at
Now he's got it locked up. Oh,
Yeah.
It slipped off again for him.
Again, wow.
Ended on his belly, and now he's behind 4-1. With 50 seconds to go, he's really going to have to get going now.
McKittrick out in front 5-0 over Volts of Hillsboro. Off from a nice takedown to the back.
Got Minch coming out there against the other Powell, Drew Powell, at 126 on mat number 3. And then at 132, we got Colin McKittrick out there against another one of the Hillsboro wrestlers, Philip Volts. But right now, McKittrick out in front of that one, 5-0. Biermeyer got out, but now he's only got 20 seconds to get a takedown. He's really going to have to use a bull rush or something, Ken, or use that backward throw that he's tried a couple times. And there he's going to try it. And again, he throws him out of bounds.
Yep.
Just running out of real estate.
The mat's not big enough.
7 seconds to go here. Biermeyer's got to lock it up quick now. Josette's doing the smart thing of moving around and not going to give up the point. And he's going to be your finalist. Biermeyer's going to have to go to the backside and win it back there. And now he will take on the young man from Mineral Point in the final wrestle back there. Not much of a wait for him. He'll be coming back in a short while.
Yes, he will, and he'll just have to kind of get himself reset. He lost to Ulrich at Mineral Point last week, if I recall correctly, so he's going to have his work cut out for him in that particular matchup. Well, back here we are, and again, our thanks to Western Technical College with some satellite branches, satellite schools in Viroqua. You'll find them in Mauston, surrounding areas. We appreciate their support. Of course, the main school right there in La Crosse. And Zip Stop, thanks to Shane Nottestead and the 7 Zip Stop stores that he now has. Oh, we got a big change here going on, but now McKittrick coming out from underneath. He gave up some back points. Now McKittrick going to get the reversal, and he has back points returning to his side of things.
Final wrestleback match down there at 113 between Brody Meese. He takes on Tyler Miller. And he has a big 5-0 lead already against the young Bulldog. Although we got to remember that's Boscobel Wazika now, right? Yeah, Boscobel Wazika. There's the fall, and Brody Meese keeps his tournament hopes alive as he will now get to go for third place. He will take on Orloff from Pecatonica, though. That'll be a tough match.
They're getting things squared up here on the point totals.
Powell down there in his match, he trails 4-1, I believe, against Minch.
Yep. Guzman stepping out onto the mat at 132 pounds.
Yep, he takes on Trevor Paulson from Aquinas. We're finally getting our paperwork somewhat back to
try to catch
close,
up again,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. putting matches on deck and holding them there really threw Mat 1 and clear out of sync. Now we're kind of catching up. We got two 132 bouts going on and a 126. So
Brookwood Falcons with 2 wrestlers out here in the Wrestleback Series, trying to keep their hopes alive. Alex Guzman at 132, and again, the young man, just you talk about a team kind of guy, wrestling up a couple of weight classes. He is taking on here, I got to get my paperwork set up. He's taking on Trevor Paulson of Aquinas at 17 and 17. So interesting matchup here, giving up some weight, some size here. Record-wise, they're about the same.
it looks like we could have an interesting injury to his opponent. It's always tough when they start looking at a knee.
Yeah. Yeah, at 26, that's Minch, you said, right?
Minch, yeah, Brecken Minch.
Yeah. He came in a nice record of 15 and 5. Looks like he's ready to give it a try.
Yep. Just had some some trainer come out of the crowd there for Fenimore. That's always good, especially if it's an MD.
True.
13-2 in McKittrick's match at 132 over Volts from Hillsboro as they go into the third period. In our other bout down there, we have Aquinas, Trevor Paulson, leading in that match over Alex Guzman from Brookwood.
4-0 to score there. 15-2 here on the orange mat.
We'll kind of set the stage a little bit when we get into our female action. We've got 3 semifinal matches to go there, and most of those are in the first 3 weight classes.
Okay.
So there'll be 100, 107, and 114 taking the mat here shortly. And then we'll probably give us a much-deserved, at least I feel, deserved break.
I hope so.
And then we'll set up our format for the championship action. And as typically with any sectional, there'll be first and third in the male action going at once. And then we will, after that's done, then we will bring the championship matches for the female matches out there. And then we'll get into any wrestleback action that we need to have take place.
Yeah.
Again, just to briefly remind you, as far as the female action, only the number 1 wrestler advances on the female action, where in the male action, it's 1 through 3 make it to the state tournament.
Right. And we had, I heard, was it 22 ladies that are here today for the
19.
Oh, 19 now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We have a final there at 126. Then.
Yeah.
132, excuse me.
Yeah.
That would be Colin McKittrick now going for third place. A lot of action down there in that other one at 126.
It's 11-2 now. Minch out in front of Drew Powell. And it's an 8-2 score with, at 132, Paulson over Guzman, Aquinas, and Brookwood.
I always think it's interesting when a coach comes up and has questions when there was a tech fall. Like, wow. Moving on then, we're up to 138 now as we finish up that 126 bout still going on down here, and that's now in favor of the young man from Fenimore.
Yeah.
11-3.
Minch out in front now.
Is down at the other end in 132. Paulson is out in front 8-2 against the young man from Brookwood. And then we're up to 38. That would be Jesse Pinky from Aquinas as he takes on Sam Marsaluk from Independence Gilmanton. And he takes an early 2-0 lead in that bout. blood time down there on mat number 3 for Powell.
Yeah, that's getting to be a long match.
You can imagine his dad just runs out there and says, shove something in it, get going.
He said, let's go. We're going to get a turn here now at 138 pounds in this wrestleback as Pinky taking on Sam Marsalek, and he's going to get the pin. Pinky moving on for third place, and that matchup will be determined in just a couple of moments.
That'll be the young man, Jaden Glassbrenner, taking on Jackson Bender from Royal. And I would almost be willing to bet we won't see that on mat number 2. Something else. Probably move up to 45 or something. Here's a just criticize them, then they do it, so that's all right.
Yeah.
We are going to see that Fenimore, Glassbrenner, and Bender match from Royal. So we'll finally maybe catch up on some things here and finish out the round with some sort of sense of order. Our viewers sometimes must think, can't those guys keep the weight classes closer together? We're at the same wonderment that you are.
Yes.
You know, it is. We will never criticize track wrestling a whole lot because both of us agree that's been one of the best things to ever happen to wrestling. So we do have a final down there at 132 as Paulson wins 10-2 over Guzman of Brookwood. So Guzman's season and his career will end in that match, and Paulson will move on to the next round and wrestle for third.
We got a pinning combination here at 138 pounds coming up with a cradle off of a takedown.
Now we have a Westby wrestler down there in mat number 1, and that is Garrett Vatlin as he takes on another Royal wrestler, and that's Garrett Dragan. Dragan?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Is that Dragan or Dragan? How would you
I think it's
pronounce
Dragan, I think.
Dragan? Okay, sounds good to me.
Glassbrenner and Bender, Fenimore Royal. Glassbrenner had a cradle locked in. He's going to get 5 for the near fall, and now back to another pinning combination. Vatlin in good position here right now.
Powell's season ends down at the other end there at 126, but he's only a freshman, so we'll look for good things from him in the future.
For sure.
15-3 there for Minch from Fenimore.
He will take on Gunnar Wolpat for the right to go to state.
There's a fall there at 138, and that is Glassbrenner getting the fall over Bender from Royal. There's a fall down there for Vatlin at 145 as he moves on to the third place match as he pinned another Royal wrestler, and that was Dragan from there. So now we're getting some quick pins and scatter our weight classes even more yet. As we do, although we done, okay, now we're done with 132, 138. And we're halfway through 45, so maybe it isn't all bad.
At 152, we're going to have Lincoln Manning coming out. He is taking on Landon Lazovitsky.
Quick single leg shot, switching to a double leg.
Whoa.
Down there. Yep, good job. The fall down there at 145 on the other end.
Yeah.
And that was Emhoff coming up with a fall over Dahman from Pittsville, so he moves on to the third place match with a pin there. So now we're up to 152 and 160, and thank God, Ken, we're back together.
Exactly. How did they do that?
We got lucky. Lincoln out to a good ride there, looking for a power half. Really good with his hips.
Yeah.
Now he's getting back points. Good job. Hold him there. Might get a fall. Ah!
He did. Wow.
Good for Lincoln. Keeps his chances for a state tournament trip alive.
Yep.
Should see there in our others. Oh, they have that already down here.
They're wrestling now. Greeno.
You watch that one. Greeno and Bussy going at it down there. We're going to move up to 160 on the other two. We will mention the Colton Clark. Maybe not, because they're going to go to 170 on one of these. Thought Clark would maybe be coming out here, but
I thought so too. He should be shortly.
don't want to miss him. One of the few wrestlers from Kickapoo Lafarge still in the tournament.
2-0 score here. Bussy has the lead.
Going to get a Caston wrestler coming out here, and that would be Colin O'Neill on mat number 2. And he's going to take on Kellen Getzinger from Pittsville.
I think they're going to have they might wind up a little time factor here now, potentially, Kirk.
Yeah, I think we could too, Ken.
I would not be surprised if they would say, let's get the ladies in here and move the guys to maybe one mat, possibly.
Because they're already holding off on this 170
right.
bout.
Yeah.
We do have 160 down on mat number 1, and that now is Blair Taylor, Ben Lean, taking on Jimmy Tibbetts from Mineral Point as another school changes uniforms as Mineral Point goes to more of their white uniform.
Well, you got Bussy coming up with a takedown, and he actually had the takedown earlier. He's got a half Nelson locked in, and he's trying to cinch it in even tighter and put Greeno on the mat. Nice job by Greeno as he's able to high bridge out of that one. Boy, that took some effort, and it's a 5-1 score off from the escape. Greeno goes right in on a single leg attack, trying to get that left leg. Bussy crunching those hips down on the head, staying square. Could wind up with a stalemate here, but time is actually running out here. Bussy's going to get the 2 right at the buzzer. That was a tough move for him, and he did it right in the nick of time.
My good friends, George and Mert Fiedler, you can always hear Curtis's voice throughout the gym when he gets going.
Yeah.
A little put a plug in for them. They're really proud of their son.
Yeah.
There I see that Mr. Gutnick over there supporting his daughter with that KLF wrestling shirt on.
Is that right?
Straight across over there by the, and there his daughter's sitting there too.
Okay, yep.
She's getting ready to take into coaching action.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yep, I got him now. 7-1. 3 more near fall, make it 10-1. Major decision going on right now.
Ken's really watching that because the winner of that match will be Lincoln's opponent for 3rd place in a key match for Lincoln.
Headlock series here by Bussy. Greeno trying to keep that back, those shoulders off the mat.
I think you're really hitting the nail on, there's the fall.
Yep.
Granted, it's only 3 matches, but I think you're right, Ken. I think they need to figure out how to funnel those female matches in here. Although, I don't know, it's okay to showcase them here at the end, too. We really want to emphasize that this is a growing year. This is only the 2nd year of competition here as far as WIAA competition in the state of Wisconsin for the female athletes. So kind of want to figure a way that every one of them kind of, every time they take the mat, it at least gives them a chance to see something. So as we mentioned earlier, there's 12 weight classes here for the female athletes. Ken and I try to keep it into that gender instead of calling the boys and the girls because these are young, to us anyway, these are young adults here.
Right.
And these young adults do some pretty cool things. We get a fall down there in that Mineral Point Blair Taylor match, and Jimmy Tibbetts, he gets himself in the 3rd place match, and he will be going in action here later on as they come back. So we're running in pretty well time constraints on all these matches. We're trying to get up to, I believe, 160 down on mat number 3. That's going to be where Colton Clark is going to get back in action against Emerson Moan. They were up to 170 on the other 2, and we're waiting on Connor O'Neill to take the center mat here. although it looks like down there they're going to be able to wrestle the Riverdale match between Dietrich Buckholz and Gavin Brager on mat number 1. So that's going on mat number 1. Brager from Independence Gilmanton taking on Buckholz from Riverdale, the junior, now with a 18-9 record. So the other two are hung up in time constraints, which, as we mentioned earlier, that's the one nice thing about having a lot of mats and moving through the action.
Yeah.
But then it's on the downside is you can come into this 45-minute delay or time frame. We don't want to call it a delay. It's a safety factor. But there is talk of two major things going on in high school wrestling. And number one is at least on the male side of the action, cutting to anywhere from, I think the proposal right now is for them to gauge their support of 12, 13, or 14. So we'll see where that goes. And then the other thing is, but that's more of a national federation rule, that they would cut down the rest time between matches from 45 minutes to 30 minutes, or reduce it, or whatever you want to call it.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, you look at what they do in a wrestling room in a practice, my goodness.
Well, and then there's a lot of the international style that these young men compete with in the summer activity, and I believe that's at 20 or even 30, somewhere in there, So these young men are used to it, and, sometimes a lot of people feel as an athlete, the longer you sit around, the more challenging it is for your muscles,
Right.
But those weight periods were decided by a national federation group, and I think they're going to look for some support to move it or change it. But right now it is what it is, and we'll see where it goes.
We got a match going on now. Colton Clark of Kickapoo Lafarge does come out onto the mat. He has taken on Emerson Moan from Iowa Grant Highland. Moan just picks up a takedown now as Clark tries to get up and hit a switch, but Moan able to follow back to the mat. Oh, a nice little Granby Rose situation here by Clark. He's going to get the reverso. Moan gets the escape. Nice flurry of action right there.
Colin O'Neill now is going to take the mat here on our orange mat. He is going to be taking on the young man, Kellen Getzinger from Pittsville. So this is Colin's chance to keep his tournament going here, as he suffered a kind of a challenging 3-1 loss. And boy, does he come out on fire.
He was not going to waste any time on that shot.
These two could have potentially wrestled last week. Lean coming in here on a 4th, and I believe
Moan, by the way, just picks up the pin on Clark.
Okay.
So Colton's season will be done. He's only a junior. He'll be back next year. Moan will now face Tibbetts in another crucial matchup. The winner moving on to state.
So now he could go up to 182 down there. And I believe he will. As O'Neill, as you just got to watch, he secures a first period fall. And he now will move into that third place match. And he'll take on the winner down here on mat number 1 between the young man Buckholz, who is trailing 4-2 against Brager from Independence. So now we're going to move on to 182, and I guess maybe not. Now they got 195 up on both of those.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 82 has got a bigger time constraint than 95.
Well, you wouldn't think so, but
the way we were really jacked on those ending that run round up, it's possible.
At 182, I forgot to write down, Renish did win that match with Schrammick, right?
Yes, he did.
I thought so. So Schrammick is in the
wrestleback against Whitehall. Looks like we're getting really close to Iowa Grant Mineral Point down there on mat number 3.
Oh, no, they did put 182 back on this one now.
Okay, well, that's good. At least got one of them in that round.
And again, a little more time that we're waiting on here.
Buckholz is making a nice little comeback down there. He's got now a 5-4 lead over the young man Brager from Independence. Looks like Mr. Boyer's calling them to action down there at 195 on mat number 3. That's Mineral Point against Iowa Grant. Prokop against Fitzsimmons.
You have to believe those two wrestled last week. I'm trying to remember. Prokop was in the finals last week and then lost, and I think he lost the wrestleback on top of that, so coming into the tournament in the number 3 spot today.
I think Fitzsimmons would have been the 4 spot, and Prokop would have been the 2 spot.
Okay.
Because the 3 spot ends up down below.
So he had a wrestleback, but he must have won that wrestleback to be a true third then.
Yeah.
That would make sense. All right.
In the third period action down here on mat number 1. I wasn't totally watching, so I don't know if we're maintaining control. Nope. The young man from Brager just comes around and gets a reversal and now leads 6-5 as you're into action down there, your 195 bout, right?
Yes. 2-1 score. As Brockup trailing here from Iowa Grant Highland. In position here, I'm not sure, I imagine they're going for takedowns here in this particular situation. Brockup trying to turn the corner here.
Get my track wrestling up to date. And you're right, we're waiting for Schrammik to come out here against Kleinhans from Whithall on mat number 2 as we have action in those other 2 bouts. So it looks like we're real close to being down to our last 4 weight classes, even with some of them already completed. Heard him say something about the female athletes, but didn't totally hear what they said. It's the only problem with our headsets, we don't catch some of those announcements.
I see Mel Dow is here. He's standing up there on the main table over there with Laura Selby.
Yep. Mel has ties to Southwest Wisconsin here with long-time or a Prairie du Chien graduate.
Yep.
From there. And then even came back after a stint with USA Wrestling. He was out west, came back and became the head coach at his alma mater down there at Prairie du Chien High School. And then moved on to, as we get a final down there?
6-5?
6-5. The young man from Independence wins.
Wow.
Down there. So he'll move on to the third place match. Then spent some time in Stoughton, did Mel Dow, and then now getting the director's job for the WIAA.
Yeah, he's the assistant. He's number 2 man is where he's at on that.
Yep. He's in charge, I believe, of wrestling, then I believe baseball, but then he has the real great one, which is eligibility.
Oh, wow. Oh, fun.
How fun is right. We're going to move on to 182 action on the mat number 1, and that will be Bryce Gawley from Lancaster taking on Ryan McCoy from Hillsboro, the freshman.
Yeah, interesting. There again, you see a freshman up that heavy doing a nice job this year for the Tigers of Hillsboro.
You were built like that when you were a freshman, weren't you, Ken?
Oh yeah. I was all of maybe 115 pounds.
So was I.
I know. That was funny.
That young man, McCoy, is easily 6 foot or better.
Yeah.
And very physical young man. But he's got a tall task going up against the senior, Bryce Gawley from Lancaster, who gets the first takedown.
Over here at 195, Brockup has picked up some near fall. He's out in front now, 4-2. He had been trailing.
See him walking down in front of him. We want to put out a little pimp here for Steve Williamson, longtime official for the WIAA. And he's here today helping out run the tournament.
Oh, nice,
being
yeah.
an assistant or do those tasks that someone else needs to do. And I think he was in crowd control here for a while. Now he's into educating the table workers. No. Good to see Steve here.
Yeah, it is. It was nice. Good for him. 4-2 score. We go into period number 3 on our black mat.
2-0 down there, and still in our wrestle back at 182. Stalling warning on McCoy on the volume is Golly is doing a nice job riding the leg and looking for a power half. Coming real close to getting that power half now. He's got McCoy in a lot of trouble. And there's the fall. So a young man from Hillsboro got in the wrestleback matches. At least got him another match, but
yeah,
they all ran into some pretty tough wrestlers there in those wrestlebacks. Little shout out again here to some of our people that are helping out again today. We give Laura Sluggleby and her crew a nice, the hats off for hosting this tournament here today with the help of the Ithaca Weston combination there. And then, Ken Thied, we hear him once in a while, you hear him on our mics doing the announcing here for the third week in a row. Kyle Kajewski running the track wrestling for the tournament for the third week in a row. And even I see some of the table workers down here for the third week in a row assisting and helping out.
There's a beautiful double leg lift takedown by Schremick on the orange mat with Kleinhaus.
Now we're back to action on all three mats. We have a 220-pound bout down there on mat number 1, and that is between Iowa Grant. That is Hudson Brown. He is taking on Dalton Wolf from Fenimore. We're going to have some timeout on that right away, so switch back to you, Ken.
Well, it's a 2-1 score now. Kleinhaus got that escape, and now quick snap and spin. Schremick will pick up the takedown. Over on mat number 3 on the black mat, it's a 8-2 score, and Brocka pretty much in control of this one as time runs out. He will move on for the third place match. So good job there for Iowa Grand Highland. Brocka moving on, and he is going to wait and see if he'll wrestle Cameron Wolf or Erixis Tirado Lopez of Cashton. That match coming up soon.
That could be the next one up on mat. No. They're up on deck on mat number 2.
Are they okay?
And down there you're going to have Hankey against Larson at 220.
All right.
Larson from Whitnall. Or Whitehall, is it?
Whitehall, yeah.
Whitehall, there you go. Whitehall is clear down by Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, right?
Yeah,
yes, yeah. They're D1.
Yep, sorry about that. Whitehall.
They don't want to be here.
There you go. I won't go there. So we have Lancaster against Whitehall down there.
Well, Hankey is pretty explosive wrestler. We'll see what he can do here. Got a little more length. Does he? Oh, he went right to a body lock.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Due to whatever, the young man from Whitehall got into the tournament, and at least he got some experience. That's a good thing. Quickly now, as we move through that, we're going to get to our last couple bouts here. This round's going to be done, and we'll see if we're going to have our female action or if that's going to come after the break. I would almost got to believe we're going to wrestle those 3 semifinals in the female action. They're going to wait for the 285 to be done, and then they're going to run. That's a good idea. I think that's good. Let's showcase those matches.
Sure. Well, there's 3 of them.
Yep.
So, why not?
Yep. Give the crowd something to watch while there's a break in the male tournament. And so we got a 182 bout out here with Schramick. And then we still have the 195 to wrestle against Fenimore and Wolf and Lopez. And then we still have a 220-pound bout is what they've. They'll have Wolf against. Oh, that's going on down here. Sorry.
That with Brown?
Yes, that's with Brown down here on mat number 1. And then we still have the 220 bouts.
And Wolf just picked up a takedown.
Yep.
And I believe, I don't know if it was some back points then. I think it was. So it's 4-0.
Yep, 4-0. And our center mat here is 10-6 now in favor of the young man from Blair Taylor. That would be Schromick. He's wrestling a wrestler from Whitehall. Longtime wrestling official Chuck Wallach from that area of the state.
Yeah. Out of bounds, 10-6 score here. 33 ticks left on the clock with Schrammich and Kleinos on the orange mat.
4-0 down there in our other match.
Tell you what, Schrammich, for his size, he's quick.
Very powerful athlete.
Yeah.
You know, give Caden Rennish a lot of credit. He wrestled one fine match to beat Schromick in that last round. And Schromick came in here as a first place finisher in that. Oh, there's a nice lateral.
Wolf coming up with a cradle situation as well.
We've got two pinning situations on both mats all at once. Schromick gets it. So 182 ends in a fall there for the Blair Taylor athlete as he keeps his chances to get to the state tournament alive for the junior there with a pin.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup for third. He's going to wrestle Bryce Colley of Lancaster. And, yeah, that's just going to be a barn burner.
So that was a pin down there at 220 for Wolf of Fenimore.
He will tackle Paxton Henke of Lancaster.
So we still have the Lopez match, and that must be on deck here on mat number 2. They are coming out. And then we have 220 going down here with our young man from Cashton coming on the mat. And that would be Culpet, and he's going to take on Caden Veselich from Pittsville, and they lock up right away in a body lock, and it's going to be a matter of who gets what.
And I didn't even have this from Pittsville. I did not have him on here. Was there a change in that one?
I don't know. That's when I printed this out last night. That's what was there.
I printed mine out a couple days ago.
Okay.
So. In fact, I probably printed it out back on Tuesday.
It's always interesting sometimes with 285. It's just a matter of who gets the leverage and who gets the position.
Yeah.
So we're down to, we have one match at 195 and two matches at 285, and this round will be done. And there, Culpet does a nice job of balancing his way out of that, and he gets the first takedown against Zelich from Pittsville. See, I should have let you do this one, then I would have to try to pronounce that name.
I don't have the name on mine. You'd have to give me the sheet. I knew you were going to do that.
Oh, Culpet coming around with a nice walk around armbar, and he has Caden from Pittsville. See, I'll use his first name.
There you go.
And bail out of this.
That's experience
There's
talking.
the pin. And Culpet keeps his season light for the senior, and he gets a chance. He'll wrestle the winner of the Biermeyer Arat match coming up here shortly. So I think we only got two matches left. 195, Wolf against Lopez, another Cashton wrestler. They look like maybe they're going to take the mat now.
Yeah, they're
and then
coming
we'll
out.
wait for Biermeyer's. Biermeyer's match was, I believe, almost the last one in that last round.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I'm sure they have a few more minutes to wait here.
We got Wolf with that early takedown here on Tirado Lopez. I tell you what, this young man for Cashton, part of that football team, he was just, again, one of those guys that you love to have on your team. He's going to give everything he's got when it comes to the competition. And just a tremendously nice person, I think.
Well, you got to feel really happy for the Cashton community. Like you say, they went quite a ways in that playoff run there, and that was really fun for the whole area to watch up there.
Right.
'Cause even you with your Westby ties in that area, you still got pretty excited about doing those games.
Yeah. Well, they were in the Final Four 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Not too many teams can say they've been there in that situation. The escape here for Tirado Lopez, and down to 40 seconds. Again, as Kirk mentioned, we're waiting for Biermeyer, and it'll be Ulrich from Mineral Point. That match coming up next. There's a takedown right to his back. Wolf trying to finish things off here quickly. He's got under 19 seconds here. Trying to fight this off, and he's not able to do so. Wolf will pick up the win, and that means he will wrestle for third. And let's take a look here. He is going to go up against Bode Brockup of Iowa Grant Highland.
Down to our last match as far as the male action. Then we get into our female semifinals. We're going to right away see, I've heard of this young lady, former North Crawford ties, Tritney Steele from Boscobel.
Yep.
She's going to take on Mariana Miller from Kickapoo Farge in our 100-pound semifinal. And then we have Haley Keaton from DeSoto taking on
Yatkin.
Yatkin?
Yeah.
Okay, Yatkin, excuse
Yeah.
me. And she's going to take on Autumn McDaniel from Pittsville at 107. And then at 114, we have Darcy Jelenic from North Crawford Seneca. And she's going to take on, I believe that would be Holly Kubas
Yep, I think
from
so.
Cochran Fountain City. So 3 semifinals coming up there in a short while after we get done with this 220-pound bout.